Ozempic, Semaglutide, Victoza. Sound familiar? If you're at the point where you feel like one of those medications is your last chance to finally lose that extra weight, think again. Your body already makes its own version of these drugs. Your problem was never that you needed an injection to lose weight. Believe it or not, you are actually not injection deficient. The reason why you're stuck is that your own body signals have been effectively switched off. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how a GLP-1 works and why these drugs come at a high physiological cost. You will also learn science-backed ways to turn your own biochemistry mechanisms and signaling back on in order to finally start burning fat naturally. I'm Dr. Jess Bilger, and I help people improve their metabolic health with natural, evidence-based solutions. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it. To understand why these drugs and others like them have exploded on the market in recent years, we need to understand the mechanisms by which these drugs work in the body and how they attempt to biohack and copy your own biochemistry signaling systems. What if I told you your gut already has its own built-in pharmacy that is able to efficiently manufacture its own weight loss signal? That signal is GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide 1, a hormone your intestinal L cells release every time you eat. Picture GLP-1 like a traffic cop standing at the intersection of your gut and your brain. The traffic cop, or GLP-1, holds up a stop sign to hunger and cravings, signaling to your brain you're full. This signal essentially slows down the rate at which food leaves your stomach and helps to signal satiety. In someone with insulin resistance, high blood sugar, prediabetes, or diabetes, the GLP-1 traffic cop is asleep at the post and has stopped sending "stop eating, you're full" signals to your brain. What happens next is a traffic nightmare at the gut-brain intersection. The green light for constant hunger and craving signals is flipped on, which then leaves you to rely on pure willpower to suppress these rampant hunger and craving signals that are constantly telling you to eat more food. GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic, Semaglutide, or Victoza are essentially a synthetic version of that traffic cop, sending the stop eating signals. Here's the part most people miss. These medications aren't ever going to fix the root problem, which is the signal your body has switched off. They're essentially just replacing the natural GLP-1 traffic cop, a signal your body is supposed to make and regulate on its own. This was never a willpower problem. It's a signal problem. And a signal you switched off is a signal you can switch back on. Once you understand the mechanism, the downsides, and the hidden biological tax of these drugs makes a lot more sense. Is the weight you're losing actually the weight you want to lose? A 2025 study showed that up to 40% of the weight lost on GLP-1 agonists can actually be lean muscle mass. Think of your metabolism like a high-performance engine. Your muscle is the size of that engine. A massive V8 engine burns a ton of fuel even when it's sitting at a red light. But when you lose muscle, you're essentially shrinking your engine down to a tiny golf cart motor. Sure, the golf cart is lighter, but it can't burn as much fuel. What happens to your metabolism is your basal metabolic rate, or your BMR, actually drops. Someone who could have historically eaten 2,000 calories a day without gaining weight after losing essential muscle now can only eat 1,500 calories daily, or they'll start gaining weight. This is why people often experience rebound weight gain fast when they try to stop using the medication. Their engine or metabolism is too small to handle even a normal amount of food. This problem can compound the longer people are on these medications. And this muscle loss shows up in the mirror, not just on the scale. That hollowed out look people now call Ozempic face isn't only fat loss, it's the loss of the underlying muscle and collagen that give your face its structure, which is why people can end up looking older with sunken in features even as the scale drops. The same thing happens everywhere else. Thinning arms, a flatter, sagging butt, and a substantial drop in strength. For anyone who is over 50, this is a serious concern, because muscle is what keeps you stable, upright, and independent, and is deeply correlated to longevity. Trading it away now is how you set yourself up for a future of frailty, falls, and injuries. Losing fat is the goal. Losing the muscle underneath it is a tax you'll regret for years. But the cost is not just the muscle loss. It's your digestion stopping. This drug causes a traffic jam in your gut, that can evolve into gastroparesis or stomach paralysis. On these drugs, sometimes the traffic cop doesn't just slow down the traffic, he shuts down the entire highway. Food can sit in the stomach for days, causing severe nausea, vomiting, and abdominal pain. People often experience malnutrition as they do not eat essential nutrients and become nutrient deficient. A 2025 review warned that this isn't always reversible. For some, the nerves in the gut may be permanently damaged. And here's the scary truth. We have zero long-term studies on the impact of these drugs over 10 or 20 years. The public are the test subjects in a massive pharmaceutical experiment. What happens when you stop taking these drugs? The hunger doesn't just return, it comes back with a vengeance. Because you never fix the underlying insulin resistance, the food noise screams louder than ever. And because your metabolic engine is now tiny from muscle loss, the weight can pile back on fast. Don't put your long-term health in the hands of Big Pharma. You will regret it. These companies are looking for recurring revenue, keeping you dependent on these medications. They are not concerned with your long-term or optimal health. They want you on a subscription for life, not living in health freedom. Protecting your gut motility and your muscle is the only way to ensure the weight stays off safely while you actually improve your metabolic health. If you're sitting there wondering what to do to fix your GLP-1 signaling problem, I made an extremely detailed roadmap for you in my Metabolic Reset Protocol, which is linked in the description below. I made this 126-page guide after helping countless of my own patients fix insulin resistance, reverse prediabetes and diabetes, fix their hunger and craving signals, and rebuild their metabolic health to finally lose the weight naturally. Food is the single most powerful lever you have for triggering these hormones on your own. So let's start there. Ever notice you can demolish a whole bag of chips but can barely finish a second steak? When you feed your gut nutrient-dense whole food, it fires off the satiety signals that tell your brain the job is done. Ultra-processed, high-sugar food gives your body almost nothing to work with, so the craving signal actually never shuts off. This makes it very easy to keep eating and eating and eating. What do they tell you on the potato chip bag? You can't eat just one. So how do we attack this problem? Lead with protein. Research shows protein is one of the strongest natural triggers for GLP-1 signal release after a meal. Pair it with quality animal fats, which switch on a second satiety hormone called CCK, cholecystokinin. That slows your stomach emptying gently and naturally, the way your body is designed to, without the stalled out gut paralysis these drugs can cause. The next step is to add volume to your plate with low-carb vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and leafy greens. The fiber stretches your stomach wall, which sends an immediate mechanical signal to your brain that the tank is full, and it feeds the gut bacteria that produce even more of your own GLP-1. Next time sugar calls, eat 2 hard-boiled eggs and some avocado first. Most of the time, the craving for junk and sugar just fades because your body received the real materials it was signaling for. Nutrient-dense foods packed with vitamins and minerals. Once your food foundation is solid, a few targeted supplements can enhance your body's signal capacity even further. There's a plant compound researchers have nicknamed nature's Ozempic, and it's well-deserved. This plant compound is called Berberine, and it works by switching on an enzyme called AMPK, your cell's master metabolic switch. Flip that AMPK switch on and boom, your cells start burning sugar and fat for fuel instead of storing it. Berberine also shifts the balance of bacteria in your gut, improving your gut microbiome and helping your gut to boost your own GLP-1 production. Here's a few other supplements that also really help. Magnesium helps to keep the management of your blood sugar running smoothly. When you're running low on magnesium, insulin creeps up and triggers those craving and hunger signals, even after you just ate a meal. Chromium helps insulin move sugar into your cells more efficiently, which quiets late-night sugar cravings. Myo-inositol has been shown in pooled analysis to improve both insulin sensitivity and body weight, and a specific gut bacterium, Akkermansia muciniphila, strengthens the gut lining and has been shown to raise your natural GLP-1 production. In my practice, I see this pattern constantly. Patients arrive frustrated because they can't lose weight despite eating what they think are healthy foods. When we look at their labs, their fasting insulin is through the roof, meaning their body is perpetually in storage mode. By pivoting them to an animal-based, low-carb protocol and adding these targeted metabolic levers, their hunger finally quiets down. They finally start seeing natural weight loss that is lasting because we have addressed the root cause problems. But remember, you can't out-supplement a garbage diet. Taking supplements while you're still eating a high-sugar, processed diet is like bailing water out of a boat with a teaspoon while the hole stays wide open. You're working really hard, but you're essentially still sinking. Plug the hole, fix the food, and suddenly you're making progress. Food and supplements aren't the whole picture because how you live tells your body whether to burn energy or store it. And it turns out your daily habits have a direct line to your own natural GLP-1 production. 3, lifestyle inputs can meaningfully shift how much GLP-1 your body makes and how well your cells respond to it. Start with sleep. Chronic sleep deprivation drives up cortisol, and elevated cortisol deepens insulin resistance and blunts your GLP-1 response. 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep is one of the most underrated tools for keeping your hunger hormones working in your favor. Movement matters just as much. Resistance training builds muscle that acts like a sponge for blood sugar, soaking up glucose before it can spike your insulin. And a walk after meals does something specific. It improves insulin sensitivity, which keeps your GLP-1 signals firing more effectively. Finally, give your system a reset by incorporating intermittent fasting into your week. Narrowing your eating window to 6 or 8 hours lets insulin fall back to baseline. And when insulin drops, the resistance that was dulling your GLP-1 receptors starts to clear. So when you do eat, your body actually responds the way it's supposed to. Restorative sleep, resistance training, and a defined eating window. That's how you build a metabolism that regulates itself. No weekly injection required. If you take one thing from this video, it should be this. Even though weight loss can feel challenging, it becomes much easier when your hormone signaling is fixed with the right diet and lifestyle. What metabolic health topic should I dive into next? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, you're definitely going to want to check out this video next. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a new video. Here's to feeling your best inside and out.